Next item on our agenda this evening is the mayor's report. So earlier this evening, we did have an executive session. It was held to discuss collective bargaining per RCW 42.3.140 4 and pending potential litigation per RCW 42.30.110 1 I. One of my newsy items is I'd like to say thank you for the invitation to attend last Friday night's Juneteenth celebration in the Issaquah Highlands. Highlands Council member Kimberly, I'm going to get this wrong, maybe Councilmember Walsh can help me. Kappenstein? Did I get it? Okay. Kimberly Kappenstein organized Issaquah's first ever community Juneteenth remembrance in Highlands Park near Blakely Hall. The event offered information on the history of Juneteenth, a local band and barbecue food truck encouraging families to stay and picnic as we honor and celebrate the contributions of Black Americans to our community and our country. I'm going to do a proclamation this evening on immigration reform, whereas the City of Issaquah advocates for a just and humane immigration system and calls on the United States Congress to enact and prioritize updated immigration policies to reflect current times and needs. And whereas COVID-19 has magnified the disproportionate inequities that exist for refugees and immigrants who call this country their home. And whereas it is a legislative responsibility to ensure that COVID-19 relief and recovery programs are available and accessible to all without discrimination or barriers based on citizenship, English proficiency, income, religious belief, race, ethnicity, gender, and sexual identity. And whereas 1 in 4 Issaquah residents is foreign-born, and our diversity will continue to grow as Issaquah is currently expanding at a rate of 0.70% annually, and its overall population has increased by 31.66% in the last 10 years. And whereas Issaquah thrives as a welcoming and inclusive community that is committed to foster a safe, vibrant, livable, and hate-free environment, and therefore denounces hateful rhetoric against immigrant and refugee communities. And whereas the City of Issaquah invites business leaders, civic groups, community institutions, legislators, and residents to join in a community-wide effort to adopt practices and policies that promote integration, inclusion, and equity. We at the City of Issaquah are committed to supporting refugees and immigrant communities, our zero tolerance towards hateful rhetoric against immigrants, and I call on the United States Congress to prioritize a comprehensive legislation on immigration that reflects current times and needs. I'd also like to give an update on the City Hall facilities reopening plan. Since the start of the pandemic, city offices have been closed to the public, and we have been providing service over email, the phone, or other teleconferencing platforms. With almost 80% of Issaquah residents fully vaccinated, Issaquah is emerging from the pandemic, and I'm excited to announce that starting July 6th, City Hall will be open for in-person services, with some improvements to how we serve the Issaquah community. We are moving our permit center out of City Hall Northwest to consolidate with our downtown City Hall. This should help reduce confusion and travel for community members accessing these services. Our new hours for in-person services starting on July 6th will be Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We will continue to provide services over email, phone, and teleconferencing outside of those hours as part of our normal operations. A few weeks ago, we conducted a customer survey and heard from you, the Issaquah community, that this hybrid service model, offering in-person services as well as virtual service, is what you want. More choices for accessing city services. We will reevaluate our service model and hours at the end of August and may make changes to ensure we are providing responsive and quality services. Throughout the pandemic, some city services were put on hold so that we could focus on our pandemic response and reducing the spread. I'm pleased to announce that starting July 6th, the following services will once again be available in person. Over-the-counter permitting services and in-person meetings to discuss projects and permits, utility billing, concealed weapons permit applications, public record requests, and citizen clearance letters. Our Parks and Recreation programs in the municipal court have already been offering in-person services and will continue to do so. Upgrades are also underway in city buildings to allow for the first time in-person and virtual participation in City Council and City Board and Commission meetings. Pending public health guidelines, we anticipate meeting in person regularly again in September. I would like to take this opportunity to thank and recognize our employees who have continued to serve the community in person throughout the pandemic, navigating pandemic protocols and taking on a greater risk to themselves and their families than those of us who were able to work from home. This includes our police, our public works staff, parks, and Eastside Fire and Rescue staff. Thank you very much. And thank you to Issaquah for your patience, diligence, and care for one another that I have seen demonstrated time and time again over the past year and a half. As we emerge from the pandemic, I look forward to seeing all of you in person again. Thank you, and that concludes the Mayor's report. The next item on our agenda this evening are informational updates, and we'll be starting with ID 0929, Best Starts for Kids Levy, King County Proposition 1. This is a regular property tax levy for children, youth, families, and communities. At the May 17, 2021 council meeting under good of the order, City Council requested an informational briefing from King County regarding the upcoming Best Starts for Kids levy renewal. As a reminder, in accordance with state law, Council is limited to hearing only factual information at this time. Council's discussion is also limited to general questions, not for making statements in support of or opposition to the ballot item. If Council wishes to take a formal position on this item, direction can be provided to prepare a resolution in support or opposition and to schedule a related public hearing for July 19th. This direction can be provided following the presentation or under good of the order this evening. Otherwise, this item remains as informational only. I'd like to invite Marcy Miller, Seattle and King County's Public Health Policy Manager, to present this item. Marcy.
Hi, thank you so much for having me today. My name is, for the record, my name is Marcy Miller. I'm the Policy Manager at Seattle King County Public Health, and look forward to chatting with you all tonight. So we can go to the next slide. So Best Starts for Kids is our mission is happy, healthy, safe, and thriving. We want to see all babies born healthy, kids thrive, and young people grow up to be happy, healthy, successful adults. Next slide.